Welcome back to Grand Prix World. You join me on the precipice of bad news, I'm afraid. So I recorded an episode for you yesterday, quite a lengthy one, and for some reason the recording didn't work out as it should have. Not only that, but many bad things happened to us. You'll notice that we're now on round 14 of 16 of the 2000 season, and we've had more than a little... remember how to speak. We've had more than a little bad luck come our way. First of all, I did talk at some length about Stephen's comment. Thanks very much for watching, Stephen. Really appreciate you taking the time out to give me your thoughts. And this really is an appeal to everybody watching right now, because I know there's a small number of people who comment or send me something on Twitter or whatever, and I absolutely love that, but I see the number of people who actually watch. And if you're still watching this, still interested, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. It's not just a cheap ploy to try and get my videos to rank better. You can reach me on Twitter at definitely0 or through the Gmail address definitely0@gmail.com if you'd rather not comment. But he raised an interesting point, which was that Deniz hasn't put a foot wrong all season, and it's a bit unfair for us to go and replace him as soon as the team starts to look more competitive. And I kind of agree with that to a certain extent. So, you know, I'm always open to being challenged on the master plan, and basically, all everyone agrees on at the moment is that Frentzen is our man. So Frentzen is our target for #1 driver. Now, he may not sign with us, that's the first thing to say. But the second seat is between Deniz and Voets. That said, we could end up with a team consisting of Deniz and Voets. However, the key question is, who am I approaching first? Who do we give first refusal on that seat to? Do we go after Deniz first, or do we go after Voets? It'll be a lot harder to keep Deniz now he's once again unhappy, which I'll get into in a moment. But it's very important to try and get down a team strategy. So I think everyone's fine with Carl Eisen staying in the testing role. Obviously, neither Nakano nor Deniz will sign in a test role when they're paid drivers. But basically, assuming we can get Frentzen, I really am interested in hearing your input for that #2 driver role. Okay, on to the other prognosis. The reason Deniz is unhappy, and the reason that this driver consideration is even more important, is obviously Stephen said quite correctly that Deniz has barely put a foot wrong, and he was completely right. Then I recorded yesterday's episode, and he started putting feet wrong everywhere. Not all of it is entirely his fault. We've discovered an issue with our engine. It seems on power-hungry circuits with a high temperature, we seem to have reliability problems. So we have got a new Evolution Ferrari power unit with improved reliability specifically for the round in Italy, to try and address that. But the only person to pick up points since we last spoke was Nakano, who picked up 2 in Hungary, I think it was. Deniz has had a non-points finish and 2 DNFs, and Nakano has also had 2 DNFs. Accidents also played a part there. This has led to the dire situation that I've forgotten where I was clicking there. We are now languishing 4 points behind Jordan in the Constructors' Championship with 2 rounds left to go. And Jordan are on fire the last few rounds. They've out-qualified us with both cars every single round since we last spoke, and they've finished with at least 1 car ahead of us and in high points. They've picked up 2 podiums from 3 rounds, both with Voets. We are... I sound like a farmer there for a second. We are at risk of going backwards and finishing the season 5th. We're in a safe 5th. I don't think Stewart are going to catch us, although Stewart have also outperformed us consistently the last 2 rounds. So these teams are starting to bring out C-spec cars if they haven't already. Maybe they've got a boost from power unit development. Who knows? But that's the situation on that front. This video will be split into 2 parts, and that break will happen now because I've got a pizza in the oven. See you in a minute. So as you've probably guessed, the pizza wasn't ready. Of course it wasn't. So we're going to carry on. We'll take a look at the news from the last few rounds. I left you at Germany, I think, or Germany we ran. Benetton picked up East as a new team sponsor, which is the highest paying team sponsor, I think. So Benetton's rise continues. In Germany, Barrichello took the win, although Coulthard started on pole. The Niz had a race-ending issue, and Jordan had both cars in the top 6 in the points. Stewart have got a deal with Goodyear. We'll take a look in our pre-season episode if that's a partnership or a customer deal. Prost and Goodyear will be partners next year. Sauber and Total have also gone into partnership. Johnny Newhouse got the fastest lap in Germany, and there's going to be some testing of our cars for the next races, which we didn't have any problems with, to my knowledge. And Tyrrell picked up Visa. We made a play for MasterCard, who signed with somebody else, which is also something to bear in mind. Damon Hill won from pole in Hungary for Benetton. We had a double non-finish, so it was actually Belgium where Nakano got points then. Magnetti Morelli ditched us at last minute to sign with Benetton, who can blame them. McLaren and Benetton got 2 cars in the top 6 in Hungary. We've got a customer deal with Esso, which we've already got a price reduction on that, so that's something. Tyrrell and Texaco have gone into partnership, and Jordan will be using Goodyear tyres, although I don't know what the terms of that deal is either. Some more sponsor news. Stewart have a complete sponsor packet, so there's someone else who in a season or two we're probably going to see moving up the grid even further. In Belgium, the Niz, so it was the Niz who got points, so fair enough, but still Nakano outperformed him in Germany and Hungary, and in Belgium he outqualified him. Nakano had a non-finish there. Again, Jordan got both cars in the points. MasterCard ditched us for Jordan, so got a double kick in the balls from Jordan there. Minardi and Bridgestone have gone into partnership. Prost and Mobile have gone into a partnership as well. David Coulthard got the fastest lap. We signed FedEx on a 2-year, 2.2 million a season deal, which is fantastic. That was the only good thing that happened for us. Computer Associates signed with Sauber, Telecom Italia signed with Tyrrell, and yeah, not much else happened there. What also happened is we completed, I'm trying to figure out what I would have covered in that last episode, so sorry if any of this is a repeat, but we completed our 2001 car, and we already have one manufactured, because we managed to reach a tipping point in our economic ability where we are now producing 6 spare parts per round, which means we are going to have, I imagine, 3 cars starting next season, which is good. We're also developing a new active suspension system. We've already developed a level 2 system which was illegal, and this is our second attempt. Meanwhile, over on the engine front, we're now on Evo 13, even though it's labelled 14, and you'll see that we've improved responsiveness and reliability and heat management in the last 3 evolutions, again to deal with this overheating problem we've been experiencing. And this is interesting to see actually. This is the first time in this game we've had a persistent component failure issue. I'm just sorry you didn't see it. You can get those on the bodywork of the car as well, and I'll cover those in due course. Over on the sponsor front, we're trying to nab Silicon Graphics. I don't think it's particularly likely, but we had some spare staff kicking around. We've got fast upgrades from Peugeot, but we still don't control development of that engine. So I have played a card with them, and I'm hoping the TV Advantage card gets us what we need. No bonuses from Bridgestone, they really don't like us. We will, I imagine, switch to Goodyear next year, unless Michelin enter. We've got 1 bonus from Esso. It's a 2-year deal, not happy about that, but it was too late in the season to renegotiate. And we're now after 1.2 million for a 1-season deal with Silicon Graphics, although our main priority is to boost this multi-year deal. So I've got 25% of our staff negotiating there to try and boost that number and maybe even guarantee it if at all possible. I think we're talking to somebody else still. Yeah, kickers as well. 20% of our guys are on kickers because they generally pay quite well, is my understanding, for the size of the requirement of effort. Not even a sentence. Not even a sentence. So, factory upgrade is on the go. We are going to finish the season this episode, as you've probably already established. And then there's going to be a short break of a few days where I'll put up other videos and give you guys time to give your feedback on this season, give your preferences for the next season on the driver front, but also we're at a point now where we need to talk about the future of the team. And obviously you've already heard my master plan, but you don't necessarily have to agree with it. You know, maybe you heard that and thought, well, you know, a Germanic themed team sounds interesting, but, you know, is a Mercedes deal really the right way to go? And I've been clicking around all sorts of screens absent-mindedly when I was looking for this. Do we really want to chase a Mercedes power unit deal? Do we want to come back to Ferrari? Do we want to go back to Mugen Honda and not even bother with a works partnership, put our effort elsewhere? Do we want to try and get that Ford deal? You know, these are all things worth taking a look at. Fuel is somewhere that we're also struggling to find ourselves a reliable partner. Tyres, all we know so far is Bridgestone are not our friend. And so, even though it's hyper competitive over at Goodyear and most people are on customer deals, I think the right thing to do is to make the switch. But again, feel free to discuss amongst yourselves. I'd like to get Danker back in 2002 if possible, because we had a good relationship with them. I don't know why they were stolen from us. We also want to keep Federal Express and PIAA sweet. PIAA are also someone with whom we've got a pretty good synergy, actually. On that note, I'm going to cut the video again, pizza time, and then we will crack on with the episode. Bye. So welcome back for the third time. Let's get cracking. Sponsors are sponsored, so we've got some testing and some repairs to perform. Cars, as you can see, car 4 crashed out last round. Car 3 is now in a usable condition because we have that surplus of spare parts, so testing will be a 3-car effort. We're going to need 4 spare parts to get everything up and running, maybe 5. That might hamper our putting together of a new car, so let's just see how we get on. What does it take to build that new car? 41, that doesn't leave us enough. That's okay. After round 14 we'll build a car, and after round 15 we'll build a car, so that still gets us what we need. But I do need this surplus of spare parts if we're going to get anywhere. Nice. So, test program. We are hemorrhaging cash. You'll have noticed between last episode and this episode, we're down to the tune of almost 3 million. We're probably going to be down to our last 2 million or less come the end of the season, I would guess, depending on how much we spend on testing and so on and so forth. We're going to run 250 miles of testing, plus we get 40 free miles, so that's all good. Again, we're just focusing all out engine, to be quite frank. So let's run that. Not as many points as I hoped from that, actually. It's bad. Anyway, it gives us 2 points to drop on our Spec 14 engine. We're going for rigidity and a fuel economy gain, just to sort of even out the balance a little bit. Still no new tyres, still no new fuel, thanks for nothing, assholes. let's get the cars in a working order. Car 4 is Nakano, car 1 is Deniz. Deniz continues to be our primary focus here. Despite his recent lull in form, he is top dog in the team, I think it's fair to say. We're going to continue running split strategy, which I did all through the time we missed out on, thanks to that lost episode, because I still think it's the right thing to do. I know that if the hard tyre is right and both cars are on soft and we don't get in the points, that's obviously bad. And then there's the flip chance that both cars get in the points because they're on the right tyre. But what we really need is, first of all, Jordan to have some bad luck, and their reliability has been pretty bad throughout the season, actually. Whereas ours has only just got bad, actually. We're going to complain about that level 2 traction control because we know it's illegal. Naughty bad boys. I'd still rather have one car almost guaranteed to be in the points than have no cars in the points. So I'm going to run with a bit extra downforce, some extra brakes, and we'll put something on flat surface there. Actually, we'll set the suspension up for a flatter track. I don't consider Monza to be a particularly rough track, although maybe it was in 97. Let's put one in overtaking. We've actually been able to put in a few fastest laps with Deniz, so why not? We'll give him a decent ability to follow cars, and we'll continue to focus on what I call the performance attributes, which is these 4 up at the top. They're the ones with the most obvious effects. These are what tend to win races out of nowhere, but they're very hard to read, and it's very hard to know what you should be focusing on. It's something that you learn with time, and I still haven't totally got my head around it, but we'll experiment with it next year, I guess. So we're onto the Evo 13 engine. Everything's good. You'll also have noticed that I somehow got the sound working. I say I got the sound working. The sound decided that the time was right to begin working. 24 degrees and dry for qualifying. We haven't qualified anyone above 8th the last 3 rounds, and I don't expect that duck to break now because we're not bringing an upgraded car. However, we do have probably the joint most powerful engine on the grid. So it is a power circuit. It's hard to say. No, 10th and 12th. That doesn't really bode well. Although to be fair, the top 12 are covered by half a second. Near as makes no difference. You'll see the Stewarts have really got our number now. The Jordans have easily become the 4th team. Benetton continue to perform a little bit better, although not in qualifying. They tend to find their pace in the race. And Frentzen continues his pretty dominant run, actually, for Ferrari. Down at the bottom, Tyrrell, Sauber, Williams, the usuals. 27 degrees and light rain. That's bad for Nakano, but it's very good for Deniz, who is a bit of a champ in the rain. I don't know if this tyre is going to last the distance, but guess who's the guinea pig? You love it, really. This could be a terrible mistake, or it could be the right thing to do. It's very hard to know. We haven't really been able to see for ourselves how our intermediate compound holds up, but I'm banking on the rain stopping and him switching to the slower tyre, in which case we don't want him making extra stops unnecessarily. Let's see. Deniz got 4th, but again a Lacey on the podium for Jordan, and you can see Damon Hill's race pace really came out in the Benetton. He finished 4 seconds clear of Heinz-Harald Frentzen's Ferrari in 2nd. Again, another non-finish for us with Nakano. Suspension failure. Barrichello had an accident. Both McLarens are out due to clutch and brake failure. Jan Magnussen's Minardi had an engine failure, and Giancarlo Fisichella's Sauber also had a brake failure. double points for Jordan, actually, and the first point of the season for Williams, I think. Michael Schumacher picking up a 6th there, that's pretty good. He must have been on the hard compound. We are the only Bridgestone team in the top 6, which continues to prove that Goodyear are the tyre to have. That shouldn't really change anything. No, we're now 7 points with 2 rounds to go behind the Jordans. Not good news. We've also seemingly lost favouritism with Silicon Dreams, but that's okay because we can invite kickers, actually. See if anything else came along. Do we get anything out of Peugeot? Excellent. We do now control the research and development on the engine. We don't get instant upgrades, but still, it's an improvement. Let's see if we've got anything else. FedEx have increased their backing to 2.3 million. Every little helps. Thank you, guys. And see the other people that we were talking to if we've got anywhere. Kickers are offering a 3-season deal, 600,000. I don't think we've got the time to get more out of them, but that wouldn't hurt. And we've got nowhere with Silicon Graphics, who are now evidently talking to somebody else because we can't invite them to the Grand Prix. We're going to use that opportunity then to keep Red Bull sweet, I think. Moving on, let's check the news. Damon Hill got another win. Williams fired Michael Schumacher. He gets his first point of the season and they fire him. That's interesting. I wonder who's going to take his place at the next round. Heinz-Harald Frentzen got pole position. Pedro Diniz was just short of a podium. Double points finish for Jordan again, who really are on fire at the moment. Minardi will be using Mugen Honda power next season, and Tyrrell will be a partner for Peugeot. Williams have signed Olivier Panis, who's come out of retirement. That's a good... he's joined for this season, I think. That's a good signing, actually. I've always rated Panis. He's a good experienced driver who we didn't really get a chance to look at in our driver special because he'd retired. Damon Hill got the fastest lap. That Benetton really is a force to be reckoned with now. More sponsor news. Blah blah blah. Eddie Jordan wins another manager of the round. Let's see if Diniz is still unhappy. Of course, why wouldn't he be? Okay. Let's see if we've got any new tyres. Nope, of course we don't. And we've only got 2 spare parts. And Nakano's damaged his car. He's going to have to run with that damage, as far as I'm concerned. 5%, I can live with it. Because we really need to start getting other cars out. So, now we have 2 race cars, so we can start the season. That's something. And we can build 3 spare parts here, I think. Yeah. Easy. So actually, we probably will repair damage to his car. Because, you know, damage does have the greatest effect. And we save a spare part, actually, because his wear isn't bad. Anyway, we've got testing to do. And obviously what we're seeing now is we are paying the price for not developing our C-Spec car. We've got an active suspension system ready. Let's just see if... Nope, that wasn't homologated because it was illegals. We'll try one more time. And did we have something else? Nope. Okay. So yeah, we're feeling the pinch a little bit here because we didn't continue development of this year's car, whereas Jordan did. Whether they have a developmental hangover or they've compromised next year's car, we will not know right now. But I hope at least we all agree as a team that the right thing to do was accept a bit of a kick in the pants this year in order to have the best car possible next year when we have the best staff, an expanded factory, and hopefully a competitive power unit. But it shouldn't take us too long to get it up and running, especially if we can add a test rig in the future. We are going to run... God, it's getting expensive. I'm gonna... yeah, I don't think we need quite so much Forschung going on. Hopefully that's enough. We're down to our last 4 million, so there's that. Let's deploy those points on this system here. That'll be the last points we drop there. And this will probably be our last... yeah, it will be our last specification power unit, so... let us... for Japan, what do we want? What do we want? I think we want responsiveness and fuel economy. So we fuel the cars light and fast, and hope against hope. We'll put both cars on the soft compound there and go all out to try and get a double high points finish and snatch 4th position away from Jordan at the last minute. A double podium would be the best we could possibly hope for. Though we seem to be having a very serious problem with finishing races right now. I don't know why the car's reliability has become so compromised, but it definitely has. I think I'm going to suspend our test program as well, aside from setup work. That's everything ready. Have we... yeah, we've got someone coming. Good, good, good. Let's complain about servo brakes. The Stewarts had traction control, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they've got traction control, and we will find it. Because we don't want them getting ahead of us, frankly. I forget what the track's like at Luxembourg, so I'm going to just set up almost at random. Unprofessional, I know, but frustration occasionally gets the better of us. Evo 14 power unit for both cars, and I'm going to put Nakano on the soft tyre. I think we're suffering as well because it is a tyre formula and we've not had an upgrade all year. Tyres and engine obviously are massive factors in Formula 1, and we've been shafted, for want of a better word. 18 degrees and dry with a strong wind, that should boost our engine power yet further. Let's see what we get here. Deniz puts it 5th, best qualifying in a long while. Johnny Newhurst takes pole position with a 1:18.517 ahead of teammate David Coulthard. The McLarens have been red hot in qualifying, but in the races it's always been Benetton. Hans-Holger Frentzen starts 3rd ahead of teammate Rubens Barrichello in the Ferrari Fords. Arrow's Ferrari of Pedro Diniz starts 5th, Ricardo Rossi in the Stewart Mercedes starts 6th, continuing their upturn in form, particularly in qualifying. His teammate Andrea Montemini lines up behind him. The Jordans sit 8th and 9th, with Wirtz leading a Lacey, which has been pretty much the story of the second half of the season, actually. And we have a Minardi ahead of us, Mika Salo, journeyman drive there, putting his Minardi on 11th position. And Olivier Panis has indeed replaced Michael Schumacher, who's now on the market for a sum we cannot possibly afford. 18 degrees, very dry and a strong wind, so no major change, if any change at all. Um, 23, 22, 22, that means that we won't be pitting them on the same lap, which is the right thing to do. Wish ourselves luck, everybody. Damn it. Damn it, damn it. Double points finish for Jordan, double non-points finish for us. I don't know what happened to Deniz there. Well, Damien Hill happened to Deniz, actually. Johnny Newhouse takes the win for McLaren. Hans-Holger Frentzen 2nd for Ferrari Ford, and McLaren Mercedes. David Coulthard takes the final podium position. Wirtz continues to lead a Lacey in 4th, and Damien Hill gets the last point scoring position in his Benetton. What we see there actually is Nakano had a good run, actually. That was a good race for Nakano. He did work his way forward and managed to keep a Ferrari and a Benetton behind him. But I don't know, Deniz's downturn in form has been very real, and I'm pretty sure now that Jordan are out of reach. That's 12 points clear of us now with 1 round to go. No chance. Johnny Newhouse won from pole. Both Jordan's in the top 6, and yeah, the Arrows cars are too slow. We know that. We had to cease development. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but hopefully we're all on the same page there. That was the right decision to make, because I really didn't want to compromise next year for the sake of transient advantage now. We've got to be constantly playing the big picture game and taking the team forward year on year. But sometimes it gets to mid-season, some things haven't gone your way, and you have to take a step backwards to take a step forward. Minardi and Total have gone into a partnership. Pedro Diniz had the fastest lap, considering his car was the slowest, so he's still delivering 1 lap pace, but something about the car just isn't lasting through till the end. Jordan have got a complete sponsor packet, whereas it seems that we will not. You are correct. Even Tyrrell have a full sponsor package for next year. So it's good that we've grown the factory, because yeah, we are without friends. By and large. Let's see if we've got anyone prepared to sign anything that results in the transfer of money from them to us. No, that's screwed. Has FedEx boosted? No. The highlight of this season has definitely been that Red Bull deal, actually. And it's bad news that Esso really still don't like us. 2-year deal, and we've got 2 bonuses unlocked now, and they've barely reduced the cost of the fuel at all. They're not a long-term partner for us, and it's bad that we're tied in for 2 rounds, 2 seasons even. That drive ready is not ready, but it will be ready for the start of next season, when hopefully it is homologated by the FIA. We need... I don't know how much actually we need here. I can build 3 spare parts, but I also kind of want to... No, I'm not going to upgrade the technology. We're going to have to make a bit of a tech run next season when we've got the bigger factory. And also in the pre-season special, we'll be having a serious chat about how we upgrade the factory further. Right, test time. 500,000. I don't think I'm dropping 500,000. Let's just do a flat 200. Engine testing will cease, as will Forschung testing, and it's all about the setup. Yep, that's what we needed. So, welcome to the Thunderdome, kids. We're going all out in Japan in the hopes that we can somehow manage to land ourselves a double miraculous podium finish and secure that 4th position in the constructors for ourselves. Don't see it myself. I'm tempted, you know, to get the drivers to push a little bit. Let's go all out. I know it doesn't look like all out on the scale of things, but they're not drivers capable of pushing. Set the speed, downforce and braking on both cars. Both cars will run the soft compound tyre. And Evo 15 Ferrari power units. Actually, maybe I will... No, I won't go split strategy because it worked well last time. Don't worry, I saved you all having to shout at me. Okay, best of luck, teamies. Why was that not approved? Okay. There we go. Gotta check all these are green to make sure you've done everything you should do. Okay. It's light rain again with a strong wind, 20 degrees. Those conditions should be good for a Diniz special. Best of luck to all of us. Diniz puts it 6th. Nakano 9th. Damon Hill puts his Benetton on pole. I think that's only his 2nd pole this season. Ahead of Heinz Frentzen. Mika Hakkinen out of nowhere puts his Prost 3rd. David Coulthard 4th for McLaren. John O'Lacey out-qualifies us in his Jordan, but we have split him from teammate Alexander Wurz. Rubens Barrichello puts his Ferrari on 8th, and Mika Salo continues a pretty good run in the Minardi to 10th. Eddie Irvine has his best qualifying of the season for Williams. Panis has a terrible day at the office though. Marini also does not match his teammates' pace. Tyrrell continue to languish at the bottom of the timing board. We were 1.7 seconds off Damon Hill. See what I mean? That's how dominant Benetton have become. And it's just the fact they have one severely below average driver that's hampered them. It's taken till the end of the season to get the car working right, but that is a massive gap from 1st to 6th, in my opinion. He's over a second clear of the guy in 2nd, so we're not going to win unless Hill has a problem. Strong rain, 24 degrees, that means we're on the full wet compound, which is an Arrow specific compound, which could be good news. And again, Deniz does like a bit of the rains. I'm going to fuel the cars light and hope for the best. Well, it was a double points finish, but it's not enough to get us ahead of the Jordans. And John O'Lacey takes 2nd, and it's a podium finish for Mika Hakkinen in the Prost, which has to be driver of the season for him. Damon Hill wins by over a minute. No. Yeah, about a minute and 8 seconds. So that was pretty severe, and he lapped everyone up to 7th. Driver error for Alexander Wurz and David Coulthard, while engine failures for Jan Magnussen's Minardi and Giancarlo Fisichella's Sauber further thin the numbers. Andrea Montemini's Mercedes unit in the back of his Stewart also gave up the ghost. Not a bad end to the season, I suppose, but still not where we wanted to be. We finish a distant 5th. There we go, that was this 2000 season. And that's our summary. The board is still happy. They're still happy, but that says there's been no change, which isn't true, because I'm pretty sure we were 4th last season, but I could be wrong. Either way, the 2000 Drivers' Champion at the last minute was Damon Hill. His Benetton really starting to deliver the goods at the end of the season, robbing Heinz-Harald Frentzen of the championship, but opening the door potentially to us snapping him up. Ferrari won the Constructors' Championship. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's a pleasure as always to do these for you. Please leave all your comments below about what we should be doing, what you think of the season, what you thought went well, what you thought went wrong. Any questions, as always, I'm happy to help with, and I will see you in a few days' time for our pre-season special, where we'll give ourselves a rundown of who's where for what. Take it easy. See you soon.